And when you're cropping out the background, make sure you are cropping flush to the edge. Do not leave a little bit, even just a little bit of the background. Make sure you get rid of all the backgrounds. So as you can see in this artwork, the four corners are bent. And let me remind you to take this moment and say, do not put your artwork in your bags, and be very careful when you're carrying your artwork. You have to be using a portfolio so that it lays flat. Otherwise, you have to spend time to retouch the creased corners. So what you can do with the corners, there's this feature called generative erase, auto apply with the brush size. If you decrease the brush size, the circle in the center goes smaller. If you increase the size, it goes bigger. What you want to do is you want to put the brush size to the area that you want to fix. So I'll put it like that. As you can see, the generative erase is an AI tool. It's not going to be perfect. So every time you do it, you have to do it manually and carefully. This does not mean that you can use AI to change your artwork to look a certain way. You can only use it to fix some of the corners and minor details. So try to fix it and go at it a couple of times if that helps. If it doesn't help, you can always go back a couple of steps. That doesn't look good, so I'm going to go back a couple of steps. I will also show you how to fix details on Photopea.com, which is much better than your computer functions, because your computer has limited capacity for editing. Let's say if you're editing just on your computer, you still have these corners that are creased. So you only have the option to take them out. So I would cut the corners a little bit more. To take out the corners. Now you have an artwork that is straight with no background. And you go to the panel that has a sun at the top. And you have brightness, exposure, contrast, highlight, shadows, and vignette. So if I were you, I would bring down the brightness. Make sure when you're editing that you edit so that the image looks exactly like the artwork that you see in front of you. So if I were Yasmina, I would drag down the shadows to make it look more black. So bring up the vignette so that the corners are right now very white. But if you look at the vignettes, if you put it up, it's black, so it makes a better effect for Yasmina's work. And once you're happy with the light perspective of your image, you go down to the color. You have saturation, warmth, tint, and sharpness. Saturation is how vibrant your colors are. So if you bring it all the way to 100, you will see that the colors become more vibrant, but don't make it too vibrant because it makes it look pixelated and the colors are incorrect. Maybe I'll put it to a 20. Warmth is, if you increase the warmth, your image is going to look orange. If you decrease it, it's going to look blue. Now, how you use it is you want it to have an accurate white balancing. White balancing means that the white part of your artwork looks exactly white, not too yellow, not too blue. So let's look at the whitest area in this artwork. I would say the flower has some white in it. So instead of blue, I might add just a tiny bit of yellow to make it look more white. Moving on to tint. If you increase the tint, it adds blue. It looks bluer. If you decrease it, it adds green. When you're adding the tint, look at the dark areas of your artwork. I've added 10 points of blue. And now when you're editing with the sharpness, make sure you have your image at 100%, not 43. If you look at the top left corner, it says 43%. So I'm going to increase it to about 100%. And then you're going to increase your sharpness. If you do this when your image is smaller, you're going to over sharpen it and make it look pixelated. So if you look at the top left corner of the blue flower, this is what I mean by pixelated. I'm assuming that this picture was taken via phone and not a DSLR camera that we have in class. This is why we use professional cameras, because when you start editing, DSLR cameras have files that are larger with more information in it, so that if you increase the sharpness, it is still going to have the raw information intact. However, because this was taken with a phone, if you increase the sharpness, the pixels are too crunchy and it doesn't look good. So unfortunately, I cannot use sharpness for this image, so I'm just going to put it at a 0. And I said, do not use the filters here on the computer. This is not uploading to Instagram or TikTok, so do not use the filters that they have on the computer. Once you are done, you are going to save. I'm going to save it as a copy. So let's go back to the folder and check. Let's see if we can toggle between the original and the edit so you see how the retouching came out. Okay, before, after, before, after. So you want to edit your pictures as if the judges are going to see it in real life. Without extra information like the background, without the glare, you want it to look perfect and the way that you want the judges to see.